There's a sentence your mind keeps trying to prove every day. After a mistake, in silence, when someone calls away, different moments, same ending. You think it's random thoughts, but it's not. It's a story. And it always says the same thing about you. So here's a question I want you to ask yourself, right now. What is the sentence your mind keeps trying to prove? Not the surface thought, the conclusion beneath it. I'm not enough. I'm going to fail. Something is wrong with me. I don't belong. I'm alone in this. If your mind had to repeat one story about you, on loop, forever, what would it be? Because once you hear that story clearly, once you catch the title of the movie, you start noticing something surprising. Your mind isn't reacting to reality. It's reacting to a story it decided was reality. And the moment you hear the story clearly, the spell breaks. You stop being controlled by it. Let me show you a simple way to uncover that story. I call it the ladder. Think about the last moment when something small triggered a big reaction. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe someone didn't reply. Maybe you suddenly felt embarrassed, anxious, or not good enough. At first, it probably looked like a single thought, something automatic. I messed that up. They probably think I'm incompetent. This always happens to me. But those thoughts are rarely the real problem. They are clues. Clues pointing to something deeper. So ask yourself one question and follow it down. Question: if this were true, what would it mean about me? Follow the chain. I missed that deadline. If that were true, what would it mean about me? It means I'm irresponsible. Ask again. If that were true, what would it mean about me? It means I can't handle things. Ask one more time. If that were true, what would it mean about me? And eventually, a sentence appears. I'm not capable. I'm not enough. I always mess things up. That sentence is the story, not the thought, the belief beneath it, the root. Once you see the story, the first step is not fighting it. It's observing it. It's watching it from the audience instead of being on stage. Instead of reacting automatically, pause for a moment and notice it. The old reaction sounds like this. I'm such an idiot. I always mess things up. But observer mode sounds different. Wait, I'm noticing the story that I'm not capable again. That small shift matters. That small pause matters. Because now you're not inside the story. You're watching it. Wayne Dyer described it simply. And this might be the most important sentence you hear today. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who can observe them. And the moment you notice the story, you create distance, and distance creates choice. The second step is questioning the interpretation. Not every conclusion your mind makes is accurate. Not every ending it writes is true. So ask yourself, what is another explanation that fits the evidence? Not a fantasy, not denial, just another possibility. For example, the old story might say, no one likes me. But a balanced perspective might sound like this. I've felt ignored in that meeting, but I also have people in my life who value me. One moment doesn't define all relationships. Or the old story might say, I always fail. A balanced perspective, I made a mistake today, but mistakes are part of learning. I've succeeded before. I'll succeed again. This isn't positive thinking. This is accurate thinking. You're not pretending everything is perfect. You're replacing a global identity with a specific event. And that alone begins weakening the story. The third step is giving your brain new evidence, new data, new footage for the movie. Stories change when reality contradicts them. If the story says, "I'm not capable," look for small opportunities to generate evidence against it. Speak up once, just once. Finish a task, one task. Ask a question, one question. Try something you would normally avoid, one thing. Not to prove perfection, just to prove possibility. Just to prove that the story isn't the whole truth. Because every time reality contradicts the old story, every time you act against the script, your brain updates its model. Neurons that fire together wire together. We've said it before in this series, but now you're using it on purpose. Slowly, quietly, but reliably. The old path weakens, the new path widens. Most people spend years trying to silence their thoughts, trying to fight the noise, trying to argue with the static. But the real shift happens when you understand something deeper. Your mind isn't producing random thoughts, it's rehearsing a story. Different events, same conclusion. Different days, same ending. Different years, same sentence. And once you hear that story clearly, once you see the title of the movie, you stop living inside it. You stop being the actor who forgot it's just a role. You start editing it. You start rewriting it. You start becoming the author.
So here's something to reflect on today. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. If your mind has been repeating a story about you on loop for years, what is the sentence at the center of it? Name it. Not in general terms, in words, in a sentence. I'm not enough. I'm not safe. I don't belong. I'm alone. Name it. Because once the story becomes visible, once it has a title, once you can point to it, it stops controlling you from the background. It becomes something you can question, something you can challenge, something you can outgrow. And the moment you start editing the script, your future stops repeating your past.
If this resonated with you, if you felt that shift of recognizing your story, here's what I need from you. In the comments, type the word story and write the sentence you found. The one at the center, the one your mind keeps repeating. Story, I'm not enough. Story, I don't belong. Story, something is wrong with me. Name it. Naming it weakens its grip, and reading others reminds you you're not alone in this. And if you want to understand why your brain is capable of changing these patterns at all, make sure you're subscribed, because in the next video, we go even deeper. We'll explore the science behind everything we've covered in this series. Neuroplasticity, how your brain actually rewires itself, how new neural pathways form, and why beliefs that were learned years ago are not permanent, they're plastic. Once you understand how it works, changing your mind stops feeling like hope and starts feeling like science. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Next time, we rewire.